In a world that just never seems to stop talking, what if the most powerful tool you have is one you're probably not even using? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty counterintuitive idea: strategic silence.
So let's just start with this foundational law from the source we're looking at today. It says, if you want to keep your power, you must keep your mouth shut. Wow, that's a bold claim, right? It kind of flips our whole way of thinking on its head. The core idea here is that real power isn't about what you say, but about what you strategically choose not to say. But why? Why is keeping your mouth shut so critical to holding on to your power? Well, the argument is that your words, that's where you're most vulnerable. Talking too much isn't just some bad habit, it's a liability that could actually cost you everything. So let's break down what that cost really looks like. I mean, just look at the contrast here. It's night and day. On one side, talking too much is directly linked to weakness, to failure, and a total loss of power. But strategic silence? That's framed as the clear path to strength, to gaining an advantage, and to being in control. It's a complete 180 from how we normally think about influence.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually put this into practice? The source we're looking at lays out 3 core rules for mastering this art of strategic silence. Let's get right into the first one: protecting your next move. The very first rule? It's all about your plans. Think about it like a game of chess. If you announce your next 3 moves out loud, what happens? Well, your opponent has all the information they need to block you, to counter you, and ultimately to beat you. It's the same in life. By keeping your plans to yourself, you keep other people guessing. You hold on to that crucial element of surprise, and you stop them from getting in your way before you've even started. All right, the second rule of strategic silence gets a bit more personal. It moves from your external plans to your internal world. We're talking about your hidden weaknesses. And this one is even more personal, and you could argue, far more critical to protect. Look, in a perfect world, we could all be completely open about our vulnerabilities. But let's be real. In a competitive environment, revealing your weaknesses can unfortunately give other people a perfect roadmap on how to challenge you or even how to hurt you. Guarding them isn't about being fake or dishonest. It's about strategic self-preservation. It just ensures that your insecurities or your shortcomings can't be weaponized against you. And that brings us to the third and final rule of silence. This one touches on one of the most sensitive, most complicated topics in our society: your income. Yeah, this single piece of information can instantly, and I mean instantly, change how people see you. So why is that? It's because money is it's loaded with judgment and expectations. When you tell people how much you make, whether it's a lot or a little, it can stir up all sorts of things: envy, resentment, even pity. It can totally alter your relationships and create all this unnecessary pressure. By keeping that information private, you let people judge you for who you are, for your character, your actions, not just for a number. So these 3 rules, they aren't just about keeping a few random secrets. When you actually put them together, they form a really powerful unified strategy. So here it is, the whole framework in one place. It's simple, right? Step 1, you conceal your moves to stay unpredictable. Step 2, you guard your weaknesses to stay invulnerable. And step 3, you protect your income to avoid all that social friction. Each one of these is a pillar in what the source calls a powerful architecture of silence. So the final takeaway is this: silence isn't passive. It's not just empty space. When you use it intentionally, it becomes an active force, a tool that gives you the space to think, to plan, and to act without anyone getting in your way. And in that sense, it truly is your greatest weapon. And so that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. We're constantly encouraged to share everything, post everything, broadcast our entire lives. But after all this, you have to ask yourself, in a world that rewards all that noise, what could you really gain by choosing strategic silence instead? Thanks for joining me.